The courtroom fell silent as an 8-year-old black boy stood up, clutched a stack of notes, and said, "I'm representing my mom today." People chuckled at first, but by the end, they were standing and the judge was crying. It was supposed to be a quiet eviction hearing, a routine case, another single mom down on her luck. The courtroom was nearly empty, aside from a few bored clerks and a landlord's attorney with a smug grin. The mother, Serena Thompson, stood up nervously when her name was called. She looked tired, pale. Her eyes were red, not from crying, but from exhaustion. You could tell life had been hitting her like a storm. Behind her, clutching a worn-out backpack, stood her 8-year-old son, Micah. He didn't look like much, skinny, shy, his oversized coat slipping off his shoulders. But what no one in that courtroom knew was that Micah had been preparing for this moment for weeks. His mom's court-appointed lawyer had never shown up. No calls. No explanation. The landlord was asking for immediate eviction after Serena missed rent for 2 months. Months when she was recovering from emergency surgery and laid off without notice. Micah had watched it all. Watched his mother suffer. Watched her scrape together dinners from peanut butter and noodles. Watched her hide the past due notices in drawers she thought he didn't know about. But he knew. He saw everything. While Serena rested, Micah went to the public library every single day after school. He read housing laws, asked the librarians for help, printed pages, and highlighted clauses. He studied. And now, it was time. Just as the judge prepared to speak, Micah stepped forward. "Excuse me, Your Honor," he said, voice shaking. I'd like to speak for my mom. I studied the rules. I think what the landlord is doing isn't fair." There was a brief chuckle in the room. The landlord's attorney rolled his eyes. The judge raised his brow. "Son, this isn't a joke." But Micah didn't flinch. He opened his backpack and pulled out a neatly organized binder full of case law printouts, handwritten notes, highlighted eviction statutes, and tenant rights codes. "I'm not joking," he said. "My mom never got a proper notice. They didn't send the letter by certified mail. She has 30 days by law. And we only got 15 double quotes, silence, complete silence." The judge leaned forward. The court reporter stopped typing. Even the landlord's attorney began flipping through his own files. Suddenly looking less confident, Micah continued. "She was sick. She couldn't work. But she didn't ask for help because she's proud. I know she made mistakes, but read that if someone is sick and the landlord knows, they're supposed to make reasonable accommodation. That's the law." The judge stared. Then slowly, she stood up and walked down from the bench. She took the binder from Micah and flipped. Through it, everything was correctly cited. Every argument backed up with real law. The judge turned to the landlord's attorney and said something no one expected. "Is this true?" The man stammered, fumbled, finally muttered, We didn't send the notice the right way, but you assumed wrong." The judge cut him off. "Case dismissed." Gasps filled the courtroom. But the twists weren't over. In the back row, sitting unnoticed the entire time, was a woman in a sharp navy blue blazer. She stood, walked up to Micah and knelt down. "I'm the founder of a nonprofit that mentors gifted kids from underprivileged communities," she said softly. "How would you like a scholarship? And a mentor from Harvard Law?" Micah's eyes lit up, but it wasn't just about him. She handed Serena a card. "I also work with legal clinics. We'll get you help. You won't go through this alone anymore." They thought she was alone, that she'd be another silent case buried in court records. But what they didn't expect was that her son would become her voice, her defender, and possibly, one day, the youngest legal mind the world will ever know. Sometimes heroes don't wear suits. They wear backpacks and carry hope.